Assalamualaikum everyone, and I'm here with another arithmetic video. Yay! Today, before we continue, I would like to say that you can subscribe to my channel for more of these basic math videos. You can comment down below what you thought of the video, or if I missed anything that you would like to know, or if you have confusions with something in my video, then leave it in the comment section below. So without further ado, let's see our topic, which is simplifying square roots. And also I will leave some links in the description of Intro to Exponents and Square Roots and Exponents video, so that you can see them first if you don't know what exponents or square roots mean. So, have you ever noticed that teachers sometimes would be a little picky? Like a math answer you gave, which technically is correct, but you can still lose a point in your math test. Well, there are many ways to say a number, express a number. So one could be represented as 2 over 2, square root of 1, 1 plus 0, 2 minus 1. There are infinite possibilities. But we want numbers as simple as possible. You see, like you saw in my 2 days ago, I made a video about scientific notation. You saw that in chemistry and in science in general, we like to show a result in a very simplified way, as simple as possible. Simple enough to understand how big it is, but also a little complicated enough to not underestimate the amount of numbers there is. Something like that. Just like that, in every single calculation we make, we want to make things as simple as possible. Like 1 plus 1 could be expressed as 2 minus 0. But we usually write it as 2 because the plus 0 is unnecessary. So just like that, as simple as possible. Let's suppose we have the square root of 32. Now, unlike things like the square root of 16, where you can it's a perfect square, so you can actually get it into a whole number, but square root of 32 will be more like 5.656854 and keep going on forever. So that is definitely not a simplified way, because you can't write these forever and then you would go outside the paper, which is ridiculous. Anyway, you cannot do that because it's an irrational number. So what we can do is we can simplify how we express them. This can be simplified to the square root of 16 times the square root of 2, because these inner parts actually add up to 32. Multiplied to 32. So we can see here is that 16 is a perfect square. Now, does that matter at all? Of course it does. Since this is a perfect square, we can replace it to 4 and keep the times square root of 2 as is, because it's an irrational number too, and simplifying that would be hard. You don't want to simplify a square root while simplifying another square root. You just overwork yourself. So the final answer would be 4 times the square root of 2, or how mathematicians like to say 4 square root 2. Here we simplified this root. Now you might be thinking, why don't we just write the square root of 2, then make another big problem? Now we have to write 4 times the square root of 2. Well, this is a particular math expression that we call a convention. Usually, while we talk about convention, we talk about people meeting in a building or something like that. But in math, convention usually refers to this. So the rule here that we got to use is if any square root gets multiplied with another root, then it would be the root with those two numbers being together. You can see that. This can also be expressed as this, which is this, as you can see. So let's see some other stuff that we can do. The square root of 180. Now we're not sure if it's a perfect square or not, but we definitely don't want to find it out, because looking at your multiplication table you would be exhausted doing all these stuff. So we can use the simpler version still. This can be expressed as 2 times 2 times 2 times 3 times 3, the 180 part. So that would be the answer, I guess. So let's just move on to let's see another one. This is called rationalizing a denominator. So let's see. So let's say you made a math problem and solve that the answer to the math problem is 3 over square root of 2. Now that's okay, but mathematicians don't usually like to put irrational numbers in the denominator, especially if it's a square root. So what we want is the square root to get up without changing the value. Now here's a special technique we can use is we can do the square root of 2 over the square root of 2. Now you might be thinking, hey Uzair, you just cancel this and you go back. Well, there's another technique. That is, in the denominator, it's square root of 2 times square root of 2, which is the same thing as square root of 2 squared. Well, in algebra or in the exponent and square root video, we saw that these cancel out. So these will cancel, making it 2, and up here we get a convention. So it's 3 square root of 2 over 2. This is a more simplified one because now the rational number is on top. So that's all there is to it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!